We're live now.
Okay.
So, Kris LeSueur and Jimbo Young with the Preferred Experience podcast today. We are here at CrossFit Preferred. We moved a little ways away from the workout. Could get loud in just a little bit, so it should work good out here. I have Jimbo on today. He's a very busy guy. He's a dad. He's a doctor, dermatologist, surgeon, right? And he's super busy, got all kinds of things going on, and wanted to talk to him about workout and priorities. So we're gonna go over that, and then so how many kids do you have?
5.
5 kids, so same as us. And I'm sure it's busy. What are the ages?
14 down to 2.
Okay.
So, and it's,
Yep.
they're all busy, but it's that well, you had twins at the end, which is
Yeah. But
even
you have a
busier. But our 2.5-year-old is keeps you busy for
Yeah.
sure.
For sure. Yep. But you're probably getting close to being out of diapers.
Close.
Should be good.
Yeah.
Soon.
We're trying to train my
Close-ish.
older boys to do some diapers, but they're just for some reason not very interested.
I don't know why. That's funny.
That's actually the punishment. If instead of like doing a timeout or something like that, I'm like, you got to go
Diaper
change. You got to
duty.
change the next poopy diaper is
Yeah.
yours. And no, I won't do it again.
Yeah. That's funny. That's how you get things done.
Yeah.
Good way to teach
Got to
them.
motivate those
Yep.
boys somehow.
So what do you do at work?
What do I do at work?
Mhm.
I do skin cancer surgery.
Mhm.
So I'm up and down a lot, in and out of rooms. I do a specialized type of surgery where we remove the tumor, but then it's processed and put on slides while they wait, and I can read it under the microscope. So
Mhm.
I enjoy it. I had an art background in college, so I get to use my hand and eye skills a lot.
Mhm.
I'm on my feet up and down. I get to talk to lots of people all through the day.
Yeah.
Um,
That's cool.
I don't have to work nights.
Yeah.
I don't have to work weekends.
That's pretty awesome.
So that helps
Mhm.
because that, and I have a pretty steady schedule,
Yeah.
which helps me be a little bit more consistent with my days too.
Yeah.
When you have a haphazard schedule, or it can be a little trickier. But my brother's an ER
sure.
doc and has a different schedule every day.
Yeah.
When we're coming into town, I say, "Well, what's your schedule like next week?" He's like, "I don't know.
Oh, really?
I only look 2 days ahead of time."
Wow.
But he is a fitness maniac and always gets a ride in, or he does a lot of mountain biking and running.
Mhm. Where
So
does he live?
In Utah.
In Utah.
So you can still do it if you're off schedule. You just gotta
Adapt.
Yeah, you should adapt
make it
and
work.
roll.
Yep. That's cool.
Yeah.
What about, how long have you been married?
18 years.
18
Just
years.
last month.
Same
18 years,
same as us too.
yeah.
That's cool. Yep. In November it'll be 18
Oh, that's
for
great.
us. So you've been doing CrossFit. How long have you been doing CrossFit?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, over 5. Yeah.
Yep. And what got you into that?
I remember the first time I saw it was I was reading a Men's Health magazine when I was a resident in Michigan. This was probably like 2012. And they had an article, like a little one-page article on Rich Froning and how he, like a kettlebell workout. And I saw him doing a pistol squat. And I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, and he just, I remember thinking, like, this guy looks like a stud,
Yeah.
He's like, he was a firefighter and now he just does, he competes in this. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I had it always in my mind. And I even, when I started I was going to Lifetime at the time, and I started kind of watching some CrossFit videos and how they started, like, I was like seeing how they were doing like cycling pull-ups, so I was like kipping. So I kind of taught myself how to do kipping pull-ups in Lifetime. And
Oh, really?
there's probably
That's
some people
cool.
like, what is this
We
guy?
were at Lifetime at
What
the
is this
same
guy
time, by the
doing?
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so I kind of was interested in it. And then the Lifetime had a little boutique studio. They bought a yoga studio in like off of Shea and 101 in Scottsdale, and it was called Life Fitness Studio, but it was owned by Lifetime. And because I was looking for, I worked in Scottsdale a little bit more at the time, and I was looking for a place like a different Lifetime, and it came up on Google as Lifetime. But I was like, it's a little studio. So I was like, well, it looks like it's just a yoga studio. So I was like, well, I'll do some yoga one morning. So I went in there to do yoga, and they had a space there that they had built out with a huge rig, and they had like this.
Cool.
They were trying to kind of branch into that functional fitness.
Yeah.
They called their program Alpha.
I remember that.
And but they were just kind of launching it, and that was the launch point of it. And they built this kind of crazy rig. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And I walked in there, and there was all these people doing CrossFit workout, and I was like, wow. And so I just was like watched them, and I was like, this is what I think is like really cool. It looked really neat to me, and I called. I talked to the trainer there, and I remember on the phone I called him. And I was like, well, how much is it? And I was like, well, let me ask my wife. He's like, okay. And then I hung up, and I was like, well, I'll think about it. And then in 45 minutes, he called me back. He texted me back. He goes, what'd your wife say?
That's awesome.
And I was like, he knew I wanted to do it, and so I signed up, and I really kind of dived into it, and I just enjoyed it so much.
That's
throughout.
cool. Is that you didn't stay there though until you came here? Right?
Yeah. So I got
place.
to where I wasn't working in Scottsdale anymore, but I would actually drive up there in the morning and back, and then work here.
Yeah.
Because I was used to the
and
coaches.
You just lived like 2 miles from here.
Yeah, exactly. And I was always in my mind like, I got to find a gym near my house. And Trevor Wilkins is my friend from our neighborhood, and I knew he worked out here. And it was always in my mind to do that, but you get in a groove with the coaches you're used to working out with, and the people, and the programming.
That's
and I was afraid to leave it. And then Lifetime, when they built out their Bain Scottsdale location, and they closed that down. And that's when I was like, okay, it was actually exciting, because I was like, okay, I can finally just find a box near my house and just start doing that.
Yeah.
And that's when I came in and met with you, and and everything was just awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. I was concerned because the coaches were so great where I was at, and the program I felt like was really good, and I was really into it. And that's what I was concerned about finding, because there's so many options when you're looking at, when you pull up CrossFit gyms on a dot around you, there's tons of options. And obviously this one was the closest to my house, but so I was like, well, I'll give it a good try too. And Trevor said it's great, but it met all the other expectations too. Awesome coaching staff, very supportive, very engaging. Great people to be around, and the programming's awesome. So cool. It's very legit and thorough, and I never feel like it's anything less than the best. So cool. It's been great.
Awesome.
And so it's been a year and like 3 months here. Yeah. With you guys.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's been fun. It's been great getting to know you.
Yeah.
What is the shirt you're wearing? I don't know if anyone can see it on there. We need to go taller.
So this is fresh off of the press here, finally. But last December I did the black level testing. I kind of went up through the testing when I first got here, and I barely made it through the red level, and I saw the black level there, and I remember looking at that for a while and thinking, I don't know if I'll be able to. There's a few things I'm not sure, but I mean that's really what draws me into CrossFit, because every workout's a little different, but there's always a challenge you can find. There's always something in there you can say, you know what, I can try to do this, or I can try to maybe if I can do it like this, I can get my best at it. So it's almost like a little bit of a sport that you can push yourself, and that I found that with that black level testing, and I did that last December.
Yep.
And it was fun. I even in the middle, I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it, but I squeaked by and barely did it. So
that's awesome.
Hopefully you won't make us retest it.
Yeah. Well, now we need to come up with the next test.
Oh, the next test.
Yep.
It's good.
All right. You got a biker on our podcast. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So I know you're super busy with family, with kids, with work. Probably church stuff, all kinds of different things. How do you make this, like, I'm sure you're tired like all of us, like what gets you up early in the morning? What keeps you going? All that.
I mean, CrossFit has been the only workout that I've been actually consistent with in my life. And I think that's what I was really missing. And for some reason, I think that's why I was drawn to it, because I knew if I could get in that environment, there's things about it that would keep me coming back regularly. There's a lot of different things about it that do that. I think having a class, having a coach, having an expectation of a time that you have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all felt a little bit of the lack of that during the quarantine.
Oh, it was hard. It was tough.
And that was the true test of consistency. If you could actually, when you had no schedule, nothing to get to, that can be the hardest. So it's almost like the busier you are, sometimes the easier it is to make it happen, because you have to schedule it, and you have to
what time you're doing it.
Yeah. And it's recently when we have to sign up for classes too, it actually makes you a little bit more committed. I try never to leave the decision to I want to make the decision when I'm most interested. And usually it's like in the afternoon or in the evening, and I'm like, I feel like, I felt so good today after that workout. I really want to make this happen.
Yeah.
And so if you leave it till the morning, like, well, if I'm feeling a little bit better in the morning, you're never interested in working out. Or and some people don't work out in the morning, but in the afternoon when it's hot, you don't want to make that decision.
Yeah.
So never leave it. Never leave it
to
that. So, yeah.
That's a rule that I've set for myself is you have to decide the night before.
And commit to it.
And if you feel weak in the morning, which every morning I'm like, man, I'm tired. But if I'm super tired the whole day, and I feel like I need some extra rest, I'm not afraid to take a day off. And I've seen you do that occasionally. Yeah. Neither one of us do it that often.
It's usually because something else just came up, which happens with families, where my wife does give up a little bit to let me come here, but
for sure.
But sometimes she just needs me more, and I just have to say, you know what, this is a few times I'll take it off, but it's a rare time.
Yeah.
And I think that if you can avoid making that easy out, then it's just harder to come up with excuses, and you make it more consistent.
Yep.
So.
And we'll give you a hard time if you don't come.
Exactly. So it's always in the back of my mind, and even to be on time. I love Amy's always so good about that.
Yeah, she keeps us.
Welcome to the 5:03 class, Jimbo.
Oh, every time when I hear that, and I hear it more than I should,
I bet I'm like, you get that a little bit more.
I feel it.
But I think for me, what's helped me with CrossFit too is becoming a fan of the sport of CrossFit. I think I did that early on. I started kind of just like, I kind of stumbled upon the games and all the YouTube videos. And at that time, in 2015, 2016, CrossFit HQ was putting out a lot of good material.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about this new ownership and this new path, because I think they're going to start doing that a little bit more again. I think they are too. And because they've
already started.
Yeah. There was that got me even more interested in it, because it showed me that I can ways to do things better in the workouts. I remember watching a video on Sam Dancer doing a kind of a chipper workout at the HQ headquarters. It's probably still on YouTube, but he was doing a kind of a one where he was doing some heavy squat cleans or something like that, and he had to rest in between. And he talked about how he would count his breaths, and that was the way he would stay consistent. So he's like, I'm going to do 5 breaths, and then I have to pick up the bar again. Yeah. And if that gets to be too crazy, then I go to 6 breaths. And it was his way to stay consistent with his drops and rests. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll try that. Next time I'm at it. And so it gave me like the next WOD that looked like that. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get up in the morning and go to the WOD and try that and see if I can do it. And so the more interest, kind of consistency and interest, they feed off each other. The more consistent you are, the more interested you become in what you're doing. But also, the more interested you are in something, the more consistent you want to be at it. And so, and if you can find that where you're just kind of climbing with that, I think you can get to where you're whatever you're doing one day, it can become a lifestyle for you.
For sure. So. And then the workouts we do, there's always like structure to it every week and every month.
There's structure, but there's variation. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah,
there's something like, man, I do feel sometimes where if I couldn't make it or I missed it, I'm like, bummer, man. I kind of missed out on that opportunity to learn something or to have some fun at something, because they're all a little bit different, but they're all very similar. I don't know. It's just it's neat that way.
It's fun.
Yeah,
for sure. There's always something new that you can get better at too. That's what I love about it.
Oh, it's amazing. Because there's just so many. I mean, when you can take something like even just swinging a hammer or carrying a bucket, and that's part of the sport. It's
Yeah.
like you're so much there's so much encompassing in CrossFit. It kind of is a whole, it kind of wraps fitness into around everything. So that's what's so cool about it.
Yep. I remember when I first started CrossFit and they talked about it being functional. I'd be going throughout my day and I was like, oh, what I just did was kind of like what I did in the gym.
Yeah.
Like when I sit down in my chair, I got to sit down the right way. Like there's a lot of different carryover.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I love about it too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's done wonders for my, especially through medical school training and sitting at desks and studying for years. It's like my core just like was just so fragile and weak and just gone. And
that's how I was before I came here too.
And just how that's built up over the years has been so satisfying, because I feel so bulletproof throughout my day, whatever I have to do.
Totally.
If I have to go pick up the water cooler and put it in the thing at work, or if it's like, oh yeah, no big deal, let's do it.
I'll help. I'll do it. That's cool. Well, I know you have a busy day and a lot going on. Anything else you want to share? Any other things? Any interesting things we should know about you?
Any interesting thing? I think I talked about myself enough. But
you live on a farm.
We just hatched some more chickens. We incubated some of our eggs, and so now we have we have 21 adult chickens. We have 35 chicks.
Really?
And we have 15 guinea hens. And so come spring, we'll have like 4 dozen eggs a day.
Wow.
So, and my boys sell them for, right now it's like $5 a dozen. So
that's cool.
So in the spring, if anyone's interested in some farm fresh eggs,
all right.
I know the LeSueurs, the kids love to eat those, those dark yolk eggs. So so we'll have some more in the spring. Just let me know.
Cool.
We always have some extra. So
awesome.
It's fun.
Cool. That's great. Well, thanks for being on here.
Yeah.
Lots
Chris,
of fun.
Thanks for inviting me. It's fun to talk to you.
Yep. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you.